Hello everybody and welcome to a new video, and this time I'm gonna play some Sega classics. We'll begin with the older games and then we go on to the newer. Well, except for this one, this is an arcade game. The next two games are gonna be Mega Drive games, and the final one is a Dreamcast game ported to the 360. And you will soon see what it is. I will separately in the video below in the video info tell you at what times the new gameplay video starts because of the time. Because if you think, well, I don't like this game that much, I want to skip to the next, then you can do that by just clicking on the time and the video will skip to that part that you want to see. Okay, on with this one. And this is Super Hang On, and this is the first time I could capture this with my new capture device. Well, new, it's not so new anymore, but well, it's for the first time this game gets a proper recording treatment and you can see this. It's very sharp in colors and there's no blurry image. It's smooth, fast, and it's super hang-on. To be honest, playing this on a 55-inch television is, well, it gets too blocky, so it's like watching Lego bricks go by. But the smoothness, the speed, the gameplay and that arcade feeling that I get from this game is still awesome. And that's why I like to play those old school games. In that time I was really visiting those arcade halls in the neighborhood and play these games. I had the time of my life, while all my other friends were getting drunk and throwing bricks at each other and whatever, doing stupid things costing much more money. I was in the arcades having fun playing those games. Well, to each his own. Well, so now you can see this game the way it's supposed to be, and maybe even better so. But I must say, and I must be true, it is even more fun to hook the system up to a real normal tube television, so you get really that mood of the game yesteryear, those scan lines. This is too crisp and clear to actually mimic the arcade, because, well, I didn't watch the arcade on a big LED television. It was a CRT monitor in the game, and that's how you saw it. So there's a bit of the old school feeling missing, but it's the only way for me to play it in this manner. The gameplay is very nice. The steering, it works of course much easier than with a huge bike in the arcade hall. I never could finish the game, and I also suspect that the arcade keeper has set the jumpers to almost the most difficult setting, and I am an average gamer at best. Well, I'm happy. Some games I can finish, and thanks to some difficulty settings you can alter, you can finish the game, or in this case I can finish the game, because, well, I don't like to repeat the first few stages, and especially when you do a video to show you what the game looks like, to show you the first easy stage, then, well, it's nice that you can see the full stage and not just like one, two or three checkpoints and then it's game over and then again. But that's me, so I just lower the difficulty setting so I can play and finish this game. Well, and this is the end of the video of this game, because next to this we are going to a fighting game on the Mega Drive. Can you guess what it is already? I'll start with the first part. Yes, there's a lot of AAAs in the list because I don't like the way how you put in the name, and here I also make a mistake. I thought I selected the F, but it was the G, so it's going to be GTL instead of FTL, faster than light. Oh, this is more, yeah, never mind. Okay, next game. I just wanted to show you this nice game screen of Super Hang On, and on to the next. I will be quiet for now because I really like those intro songs, and that is what I like the most about this one. to talk again. But this game showed me for the first time that the Megadrive also could do nice, serious music. Because, well, the sound of Sonic, that's really fitting the sound chip of the Megadrive, and it's cartoony and very nice. But there wasn't a game that showed me actually that the sound chip was good enough for some serious music. Well, for me, I know there are people with different opinions, but for me, this game showed me that the game music can also be serious and still has proper sound matching the song. Now let's press the start button a few times and let's go to the most easy mode, because this is quite, for me, a difficult game. I've seen somebody finishing this on the hardest setting, and to them I say, or to him I say, or her, I don't know if it's him or her, hats off, amazing that you can do this. I'll stick to the easy mode and just show you two screens, or two screens, never mind, I mean two stages of this game, so you get to see two end of level bosses in easy mode, so it takes less time to finish the characters, your opponents. I like this special, but well, I wasn't intent to use it right here, but when you play Streets of Rage 2 on the Xbox 360, on the emulator, then I can use the X button for a punch, the A button to jump, and the B button for the special. And in part 2, the special is like an uppercut or a fast combination of punches. Yes, that was it. A fast combination of punches. Here, the special, the button for special is X. What used to be punch is special. So that's why I blew my load off too quick. Okay, never mind. On to the game. I really like the way that you can just punch away a phone booth. It completely disappears and all you get to see is a bottle. Nice. Nobody said the games were realistic. And this is the first Streets of Rage game. There's not much multi-scrolling going on here. But the graphics design is very nice. The gameplay is actually a bit faster than the second game. And I think that is because of the sprites are smaller. So there's a bit more calculation speed of for the game to do the walking. But to be honest, I prefer everything from part 2. And not only because the graphics are better, but the gameplay in this game, as you can see, well, this is a gang that wants you dead. But when you walk up to them, look, they back away. What a bunch of scaredy cats. And these guys want to stop me? I know that if you put it on hard, that they punch better, so you die quicker. So as you can see, I've been hit by a bit stronger person, and then it takes quite a lot of your energy. But well, they still walk away from you, so you have to walk in a certain path, and that is what that other guy could do very perfectly. He knew how to draw the enemy close and then come in for the finishing touch. Me, well, I like to throw and punch here and there, but for me it worked better in part 2, where they simplified a bit more. The enemy wasn't as annoying with walking away. And you could also choose to set it at the most difficult setting, and then they also are a huge task to actually destroy. So even though they don't run away, they are still a pain in the ass to kill. But we are not with the Streets of Rage 2 game here. This is still part 1. I like the end of level bosses, this one with the boomerangs, and well, this was the first street brawler that I really liked on the Megadrive. I know there have been a lot of different ones, but the Streets of Rage games, I still like playing them. Even though this is my least favorite Streets of Rage game, it's still a proper game to play. It gives me that arcade feeling from yesteryear, but with a little bit better graphics than the very old fighting games that you got to play in the very old days. And here we go at stage 2. Of course, an advantage of games like this on cartridge, if you have the original Megadrive, which I had back in the time. That's why I really like to play this back on the Xbox 360. Yes, it's really nice. Well, if you had the original Megadrive, you know what I mean. This is really awesome. Look at that poster on the wall. When the wind blows, see, you get to see the picture moving because it's not fully glued to the wall anymore. It's these small details in those games that, well, 8-bit console versions never had those details. Yes, amazing that you can punch a big iron drum. Look, that it dents, okay, but it also disappears. I think all those games from all these days had this, but it's still funny to see. And these girls with the whips, if you punch them too often on the more difficult setting where they don't die that easy like now, they are going to kneel down or sit down. I don't know how to really tell this in English, but well, when they actually kneel as if they are, then you can't hit them. So that's really strange. And also something that's difficult with this game is when you pick up a weapon and you are fighting other people's, and then somebody drops another weapon and you are on top of that, when you try to punch them, you swap the weapon until the weapon is gone. And then you just got one weapon which can be dropped just one more time and it's gone. Of course, you can avoid that by just avoiding walking over a weapon if you are holding one already. And on the easy setting, this is quite easy to do. But on the hard setting, they are more ferocious and more annoying, so that will be a lot more difficult. Well, at least for me. I'm gonna try that. So if I get hurt the next time in real life and I fall flat on my face and I got some bleeding and I'm feeling like, oh, I'm down, I'm gonna eat a big ham and I'm all better. Who needs a doctor? Who needs hospital bills? We just need a big ham. Nice. This is strange. When you use your knee and do a jump forward, you don't get hurt by those axes he's juggling. But when you punch through those axes, of course, you get hit. It's quite difficult. Yes, as you can see, now I finally could hit him. But he really takes away a lot of your power. And on difficult, for me, I don't even get to pass him instead of the end of level boss, which is coming now. He looks like Edward Scissorhands. Or from Friday the 13th, or no, I forget the name of that other guy, also with those scissors on his hands. Well, I don't know, maybe I'll get to that later when I'm not thinking and trying to think of the name anymore. I know the name of him in the movie is Freddy Krueger, and I don't know if it was from Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever. It's also an old scary movie and he looks like that, only bigger. It's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. Yes, kick him down, and that was the second end of level boss. And so, on to the next version, part 2 of Streets of Rage. 3, 2, 1, go! Yes, here I skipped the intro because, well, in this emulation, well, as you can see with the game capture, I've adjusted the screen so it's full screen on my television, and I didn't realize that the game capture device actually still captures the background picture. So, too bad that it is like this. But at least the screen quality, the capture quality will be much better than the Streets of Rage 2 video that I have on my Music Maniac channel, my music channel. But as you know, only this channel, Music Maniacs Gaming, and videos, movies. On this channel you get to see the rest of my gaming activities, like this one. Yes, in here things are disappearing as well. I really like the variation how you get to not only walk sideways, but also a bit more into the screen. It's like, yeah, it's really nice. The design, the color, the use of color is better. The bigger enemies I really like. They don't move away so often from you. They walk a certain pattern, also judging on where you are. But you now finally actually can hit them when you want. And that's why, especially a bit further on, you get to see me do more grabs and so, because it's much easier to time your attacks. This game I usually play a bit more difficult, like on the normal setting. As a matter of fact, not long back, I finished this complete game online together with my nephew, because this emulator version you can play online together with a friend. Yes, nice. I'm not going to eat that. Oh, I thought, well, in part 1 it's a ham, and now we get chicken. I like part 2 on several things, and yes, chicken is my favorite kind of meat. And so that is even better in this game than on the previous one. Never mind. Yes, and what you do when you enter a cafe, a bar or a restaurant, you kick the tables to see if there's money underneath. Duh! Oh, didn't you do that in real life? Yeah, well, the strange thing is nobody in there is eating. Maybe they know what the food from the cook is like. I know some enemies look like enemies from part 1, but also with better design, and I really like it. I can't say it enough that, well, even this day, even on a big TV, somehow this emulator is giving the graphics a bit more of a blur thingy on top of it. I can't explain properly, but well, it looks more smoother and not too... it doesn't look too sharp, because, well, nowadays we are used to 1080p and it needs to be crisp and high resolution textures, and but well, you didn't have that back in the time. And I think with this emulator they gave that mood, that old school mood, much better conversion to the newer generation than in the first game. Not the first game of Streets of Rage, but the game I played before, Super Hang On. Well, and with this end of level boss, also on the normal setting, when you force him to stand on this wall, you can either do that uppercut all the time, and sometimes, like you saw in this fight, he will grab him and then you can throw him on the floor. But be sure not to throw him behind you, because then he can circle around you. He needs to stay against that wall, and then he's gone quicker than you can say super quali quantifia extra quasiotis. Never mind. Yes, don't you hate it? Those stupid ass motocross bikers on the sidewalk. So what do? We kick them from their bikes. And the other people on the sidewalk, they decide they can't walk around me, they want to punch me. So I punch back. And also, just to be sure, I think this is one of the longest bridges that I have seen. But well, maybe in America they've got bigger bridges than we here in the Netherlands. Because we don't have mountains to cross and seas. Yes, look at him go. You grab him, you throw him. And of course, the stuff into the pins that fall out when you kick them over. Does that mean there's no bottom on the bins? I think so. I think, judging by how the sidewalk looked, usually the enemies use guns because of the bullet holes in the floor tiles. But now they decide to just punch me. Or in this case, I punch and throw them. And I kick the car and I'm inside it. Very strange that these guys, they don't do anything, but when I defeat their boss, then suddenly all will come and fight me. And everyone try to pick up that thing, and I nicely like to make use of that, because they walk to that weapon, and all I have to do is uppercut, 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 and gone are they. And here we are close to the second end of level boss, and so also to the end of this part of this game. And there's only just one more game, and it is a Dreamcast game. Try to guess what I'm going to play before you look at the video info. And before, well, maybe I've said it before, I don't know, I can't remember. I know I told you that I was going to play a Dreamcast game. And as a matter of fact, the game I'm going to play was for me the reason to get a Dreamcast. Yes, I like Sonic games as well, but somehow that didn't give me too much, yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it didn't actually cheer me on to get one immediately at the launch. But when I've heard they are going to make a conversion of that game, I just knew I had to have one. I waited until I saw the first review, and then I knew for sure that this is going to be the reason for the Dreamcast. Yes, you can see it already, it's crazy taxi. I'm going to play for 10 minutes, because if I play by arcade rules, we are sitting here I've lost a bit of my finishing touch, because I didn't play it that often anymore. But I think I still managed to keep on playing for like an hour or so. So, on to the 10-minute mode, so you can be safe. And you know this video ain't gonna last 1.5 hours. From the start of this game, it will last 10 minutes. As you can see, the game timer running down. And that's why it's not so important anymore to bring the people as quickly as possible to their destinations. But the quicker you are and the more stunts you do, the more money you get. And so, well, I'm just keep on using that trick, the boost trick. And that is like reverse, drive, accelerate, reverse, drive, accelerate, reverse, drive, accelerate. Yeah, they were in my way. So that is that crazy boost. The first normal boost, even if it is... Sorry, I want to talk too quickly. Even if the driving mode is in drive, you can just press drive and accelerate to do the quick start, the quick boost. So it doesn't take too long for your car to reach top speed. And when you reach top speed, you do that reverse drive accelerate trick, and that's the crazy dash, and then your car go beyond the speed limit of the car. And that's why I choose Gus, because Gus is just like me. He's big, he's fat, he's heavy, and his car is just as heavy as he is, and that means he can punch other cars aside and it won't cost too much of your speed. Except if you have a head-on collision and you don't counter steer correctly, then of course you will lose speed because your cars make a strange flip. But well, usually it works like a charm, especially when I play this game like a few times in a row. When I'm really into this game, I really get up to speed and I just mash everything away. And that's what I really love about this game. Also, this was one of the first proper 3D drives through a living, breathing city. There's actually people responding to you, and that's why I really like it. You cannot mow over them. This is not Grand Theft Auto. This is Crazy Taxi, and Sega is more child-friendly. I know they allow a lot of blood in their Megadrive games, and so it's not like in the first Mortal Kombat, like Nintendo said, no blood, so let's remove that. But in this game, it's meant to be a cab driver and not a psycho killer. Why didn't I notice that tree? It was big enough. Oh man, while I'm doing this comment, I am watching the video together while I am commenting on it. And sometimes my PC can't keep up with the full HD in my video editing program. It's too heavy for my PC, and so sometimes the screen freezes. So that's a bit more difficult to comment on what's happening. So that's why sometimes you get a reply or a reaction from me on something that happens maybe a few seconds before. Well, that's because, well, sometimes the screen freezes and I don't see anything. Here I'm using a trick. I'll just don't steer, so the car with the wall. I don't touch the cars that I'm passing, so I get the combo up higher. And I always try to stop as close to another passenger as possible, because then getting in the car doesn't take too much time. And as you can see, you can go like crazy. Because I'm working a 10-minute shift and I'm still trying to get the highest license, which of course doesn't work because I need a little bit more time. Because if my memory serves me well, you get that with $10,000 and well, I didn't reach that. It was like 9,000 and something behind that point. This the way back, or on. This is played on the Xbox 360, and so it doesn't have the original music, which I think is a really shame because I really like that 10 in 2010 and the other music that was in this game. I really liked it, and well, there's things more wrong with this game. Well, it's too bad they didn't do the game justice. For instance, the balance between the music, the sound of the traffic, and the people talking to you, it varies. Sometimes you can make out what the passengers say to you, but most of the time it's like what they are telling me. For instance, well, this road, when you pass and you make great combos quickly enough, and that's usually when I drive the other way around. So just like before. Then on the Dreamcast you actually hear them like, yeah, you are crazy, you are cool, and they give you compliments. But you don't get to hear this in here because the samples are way too soft or the music way too loud. I tried to change this in the settings, but you can make the volume of the music change to the volume of the city noise, but the city noise and the samples are adjusted together. And because of the noise of the city and the cars and what you hear is also too loud, you still don't get to hear what they say. I'll be quiet now so you can try to hear it. Well, my tricks trailing against the wall worked, but it went a bit different. Usually the car just sticks to the side and then you don't have to steer anymore, except for when the road is going to the left, and well, then you need to steer to the left as well. If the wall is on your left side and the road is going to the left, you still need to steer. But other than the not so nice conversions of the sounds and so, the fluid scrolling and the sharper textures, well, it's still nice to be able to play this game with the 360 controller, because the triggers of the Dreamcast were too far back, I get a cramp in my hands by doing that crazy boost trick. Reverse, drive, accelerate, reverse, drive, accelerate. That was giving me a cramp, especially when I got a bit better at this game and the play sessions took too long. Oh, that was not so nice, and then my hands get cramped and I'll just stop playing, never being able to actually get a proper high score, because I just need to give up because of my hand and not because of I'm not capable anymore. And on the 360 it is, well, then I just really need to stop when I'm not capable anymore, because when the city is almost cleaned out, it takes too long time before you get a new passenger after dropping another one. And then the time is going down, and you really, in the arcade mode, you really need to build up your time in the beginning as quickly as possible. So short fares, and try to deliver them on the green, the perfect ending. So you get the highest amount of time as a bonus. And by building up the time, then you get a really huge amount of time for when the city is empty. And this determines how far you get in how much money you can build up. So far I have never have been able to actually clean the town totally, because, well, most people I remember and I know by head. The only thing that sometimes randomly changes is the destination where they want to go. Because usually I'll try to make a circle through the full city, a full city lap, so you can clean out the city more evenly, so you're not needing to drive too far to get a new pickup, especially the further you get into the game. But, well, when you are so far that it already takes too long getting to a new passenger, you're starting to play like, oh, I need it quicker, and then things go for the worse. Here I got a normal drop off, well, because I'm playing with a solid time, which is now like 1 minute 20 seconds. You don't get to see what kind of a reward I get, except for the money that they are going to pay me. In the arcade mode you can see that you get 5 or 10 seconds, or if they are not satisfied at all when you deliver them at the too slow time, they'll just step out of your car or jump out of your car. They grab a bit of sand and throw it in your face. Now that's a reward for like trying to help people get where they want to go. 48 seconds. Yes, we're almost there. Then you get to see the license that I got. It's not the best yet, because I needed just a few more dollars. And so that's why also in the end, when you play on time and you see that you got like 27 minutes left or so, then you need to pick up a customer that needs a short drive. It has no use to pick up someone who wants to go to the other part of the town. You're not going to make it, and so that time is wasted. And that's why I'm picking up short fares only now. Let's pick this one up. I think this is the final drop-off. Yes, this is the one. And something that can go wrong, that is happening right here, but I was lucky that my car fell on its two other wheel, four wheels, so just on time. Look at the time, and I still get the last bit of money. So 9,500 roughly. Just a few more dollars and I would have had the other license. Crazy.